Inside Yellow Sound is an interactive, immersive installation drawing on Wassily Kandinsky's stage composition, Yellow Sound. Yellow Sound was published in 1912 and it's a composition of color, light, music, sound, text and movement. Kandinsky never managed to stage the play during his lifetime, but he imagined it in a seated auditorium. The first production of the play was in 1972, and most productions of it so far have taken place in seated auditorium. What we're trying to do with Inside Yellow Sound is place the spectator, who now becomes a participant, inside the world of the play.
5 stones are lined up at the far end. Starting from the left, pick up the first stone.
So the installation is using a custom-made software that enables the participant to control sounds and lights through their movement. And what it's trying to set up is a reciprocal relationship between the movement that the person is making, the choices they're making in the space, and then the triggering of the sound and light material which comes from Kandinsky's text. The way the custom-made software is working is that sensors are handled by the participant, and it's those sensors that pick up data from the person's movement. So there was a question as to, will this person be given the sensors? Will the sensors go inside a particular object? How would that work? And at that point, we thought that placing the sensors in stones would make a lot of sense, both because stones figure quite prominently in the text, and it feels that this idea of earth underpins the text, but also because stones have a very immediate kinesthetic effect. So you pick a stone up, and the first thing you feel is gravity. So the way the installation progresses is that each scene is corresponding to a particular stone. So the participant is invited to pick a stone, then through the movement of the stone and their movement in the space, different sound and light material is being triggered. They have a play, and then after some time they're invited to put the stone down and pick the next stone and so on. And that's how we go through the arc of the play, of the installation.
With strange, indistinct yellow faces.
I'm Nikos Stavropoulos, and I'm the sound designer for the Yellow Sound installation. We collected the sounds that Kandinsky refers to in the text, and then worked with them to be able to use them with a system that is interactive, and that was the challenge. It wasn't a case of triggering and playing through sound files, but rather creating sound material that can be used with the gestures and the movement of those using the system. Kandinsky mentions indistinct orchestral chords at the beginning, or near the beginning of the text. So I worked with orchestral recordings and layered them to put together chords that are harmonically unstable and indistinct, and that's the beginning of the installation. You can hear those sounds there.
One of the key ideas we wanted to address with this installation was questions of accessibility. And towards this end, we worked with Maria Oshodi, who is a blind theatre director and artistic director of Extant, which is a UK leading company in creating work by blind artists and for blind audiences. And it was great to work with Maria and have Maria in the team, because we could immediately get a sense of how someone with different sensory needs and different sensory preferences, how they would experience this.
Yeah, that's been really intriguing for me because of the idea of, I guess, synesthesia, about working, you know, how the senses kind of cooperate and stimulate and inspire each other. And even though for me the light element is quite absent, it's very much contained in the language of the text, so it's present in that way. And so even though I'm not having a direct experience of the kind of light aspect of this, it's really stimulated by the sounds that have been created for the piece, and also the movement that I make as well, which you need to do in order to make the sounds occur. And also helping to create something accessible, and I don't just mean for visually impaired people, just the audience experience is starting with something that could be quite abstract and overwhelming, but trying to make that really, in very easy steps, accessible, something that feels friendly to be able to handle, and then how that can then extend and include their bodies to tell stories and for their imagination to do something with the sound. You know, yes, we're using the Kandinsky thing as a starting point, but it's a provocation to not only move, but also just to push your imagination.
I like the drama of waiting, and the darkness around is, I couldn't be sure whether the lights were changing or whether my eyes were adjusting, and I thought that was interesting and added to the anticipation. I like structurally this circle, almost like a miniature theatre inside a theatre. I thought that was interesting. And then walking in, kind of almost like going into a circus tent. I thought that was really theatrical in a really good way. And once inside, when you're confronted with nothing apart from these 5 stones, it's good because it makes you wonder what is going to happen.
Huge white flowers in their hands, they speak with mixed voices and recite. The flowers cover everything. Shut your eyes, we are looking. Cover conception with innocence. Open your eyes.
It made me feel immersed in a world that I didn't necessarily understand, but not in a way that was alarming. It made me feel like I wanted to play the stones, really. I wanted to create a sound world with it. Maybe that's just me, but I got a sense of what I could do with them, and I was enjoying some of the space created by stopping movement and just listening to some of the sounds as they faded away. So it felt very interactive in that way.
It was great. I felt a little bit scared going in, actually. I think life's been quite busy in a strange way over the past 2 years, and then actually to go into a space that was kind of dark, but then there was this intriguing thing in the middle. So yeah, it was exciting and a little bit scary to go in, but probably more exciting than scary. I loved being able to be in control of what I was listening to and experimenting with that as well. Like when I was in the middle few stones, I was, am I controlling the sound? Or like, you know, kind of being still and then moving and realizing that I was. I felt very relaxed towards the end. I kind of knew what was happening. I knew what to do. So yeah, I loved it at the end. It was really nice it was quite calming to be in the space at the end.
It was interesting to hear all the sounds kind of from different places in the room. It was dark and I can't see well, so it was kind of, felt like I was just stood on my own in the middle of nowhere. But when the sounds came, it kind of made you think of lots of things that the words had already been describing. So it just kind of conjured up lots of different worlds, basically.
I feel I got really stuck on sounds more than on light. And then slowly you kind of forget about how it works, and I felt like I was getting carried away with the sounds, and the movement was just kind of leading me. So it always kind of started like really investigative. How does it work? And then slowly you just completely forgot about it and just kind of let yourself be. It's hard because you're like, am I being guided by the sounds or am I guiding the sound? And it kind of gets really twisted, and it's like I had few times I had to stop to kind of go, oh, I'm still in control, and then kind of go back again. And that felt really peculiar kind of way of connecting with movement. It feels like a really safe space. Also because I guess I was doing it really on my own. But yeah, it felt really safe and I felt really calm afterwards. Even though I kept moving, I didn't feel like out of breath or anything. It felt just really my own pace. It was just peaceful.
I wasn't quite sure what to expect, even though I had read the programme, because I haven't done something like this before. But I really enjoyed it, actually. It's a funny mix of feeling quite vulnerable, but also feeling safe and supported, which was a really nice mix, because I knew, you know, you couldn't be seen, so you would actually be able to play and explore, but also you were supported going in, making sure everything you were happy with. So I thought, you know what, just go with it, see what happens. Having something tactile, and it gives you that little bit of gravity, and it places you there. So a little bit, I think if I didn't have anything to hold on to, I think I might have felt a little bit lost in the space, but something about having that tactile item just gave you a little bit of presence, which was a really nice touch. Yeah.